Hello, my name is Blaine Drummond, and today we are looking at another Minecraft build. This is probably one of my favorite builds that I've done. I started it a long time ago, and I just recently finished it. It's been sitting around like 20% done. I'm like, I need to just do it. Actually, what prompted this is I started another build, a big palace. And I thought, you know what, I'm making this big palace. Let's make a city to go with it. You know, every palace has a ruler that need to be ruling something. And the palace's architectural style kind of matched this. So I thought, all right, I'll finish this. This will be part of my new city. So the name of this build here, I'm calling it the Canal Gate Towers. And, well, the towers, you know, it's obvious. Canal Gate, we'll get to that in a second. So, as is often the case with me, I'll be building something, and I'll be like, I want to build X. In this case, X was a bridge. I'll start building it, start working on it, make some progress. I'm like, hold on a second. This does not even closely resemble an X. It's never going to be an X. Okay, but I'd put all this work into it. I need to do something with it. So what's this going to be? Well, this one became the towers. Sort of inspired by the Tower Bridge. What do they call it in London? You know, the famous one, like that's in Sherlock Holmes under construction. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, well, I'm gonna show you this one. Like I said, oh, there's a wall there. Ignore that. It's not finished. This is supposed to be a bridge, and well, again, I made some progress on it. I was like, that is the least most impractical bridge I've ever seen because the arch was so high and it was so far elevated off the ground. So I'm like, this needs to be something else. And it kind of has a gate-ish shape in a way, and it's going to be situated on a canal. The canal is not built yet, but this is going to be like the entrance to the city. So the canal is going to extend out, you know, in that direction we're looking at. And again, you know, once I realized this was a bridge, I'm like, okay, let's make this into something cool. So I just kind of started building off it, letting my imagination roam free, and this is what I ended up with. This is also one of my builds that is 100% original. A lot of my builds, I'll see a picture or have an idea of what I want to build, and I'll look up concept art for it to kind of get inspiration. This one, I didn't do that. I just started building, and this is what I came up with. So the building, well, you can kind of get a pretty good idea of it like this. This is the only major build I've done that is oriented on the diagonal, which I think is kind of fun. I learned a lot. You can actually do some really fascinating things architecturally building on the diagonal in Minecraft. Like patterns like this, that you can't do it. You know, you can see down here, these are things you just can't really do in a straight oriented build. But it's 100% symmetrical. Both of the sides are identical. And it's basically just a pedestrian bridge, you know, a landmark, something, you know, something that the city builds to draw tourism, you know. Like the Tower Bridge in London, you know, it's not necessarily a functional bridge, though it is, but it is also designed to match the London Tower and, you know, draw tourism and make London look impressive. This one is even more in that direction. Because again, I mean, it allows foot traffic to pass over, but there's going to be plenty of other places for foot traffic to cross over this canal river place. And this is a build where the interior pretty much exists solely for the purpose of justifying the existence of the exterior. Like, I built the outside of this building. I'm like, that is pretty freaking cool looking, but it's just a big empty husk, so I need to build something inside. So that's what I did. And this city it's going to be built around, you know, for now, is I'm calling it New Venice. Yeah, I know. Not original at all. My originality, drank bleach, jumped out the window, and blew its brains out with a shotgun on the way down. So no originality here. It's New Venice for now. I don't know, maybe I'll come up with something better. But it's going to be, you know, a very water, towery, boaty-oriented city. And for other builds, I am actually drawing an inspiration in concept arts, but not on this part of it. And the wall you saw out there, the wall of the city, that one's mostly original. But anyway, again, the interior is nothing special. It's basically empty space which I might conceivably, flesh out at some point. But it's basically just this big central staircase in the center of this with, floors in the middle that you can walk around in here, I guess, if you want, but there's nothing really here. Again, basically I built the exterior and I'm like, I can't let this just be an empty husk. But kind of what inspired this, the interior anyways, the exterior, like I said earlier, was my own thing, but the interior where I kind of got this from is the that Palace Naboo in the new trilogy for Star Wars. They have that whole thing where they fight Darth Maul, and I was like, this is supposed to be like a futuristic city, right? It's new Venice, so I can do something like that. So that's kind of where the interior inspiration came from. So I guess maybe this building isn't 100% original, but you get it. But again, there's really just not much to show on the inside. So we'll fly up a little bit. And this is sort of the second area where it's marked by these big windows here. And again, the only reason there's a distinct floor here is because those windows were there. I'm like, you don't have a big window that transitions into a different window just on the same floor. So that, that's what I got. And then there's this little area. I actually kind of like this spot right here with this big window with this lovely view of nothing, A rating design there. But anyways, what I do like that actually worked really well, and this was the one part of the exterior that was designed with the interior in mind, is this balcony, which is a lot bigger when you're walking on it than it looks like from a distance. It's like if we come over here and we just come down here, the balcony, it doesn't look too big. I guess it's proportional because the rest of the building is so huge around it. But when you actually get up here, it feels grandiose. It's probably the best word. I really like the feeling of this place. And again, this one is designed where it's going to link to the interior. This was kind of actually the planned out part. Because what I did is I built the towers on either side, and then this interior sort of facade, and then I went through 2 or 3 iterations of the exterior facade of the building, trying to find stuff that looked good. And this is what I settled on. I think I built the top first, and I had some sort of weird archy thing going on down there at the bottom, and then I'm like, nah, that's trash, and I just started over. I kind of like the way it is now, though, because to me it kind of looks like an organ, like the church organ. I saw one when I was in Heidelberg, Germany. They had a church there with the most glorious, fantastic looking, palladium metallic glass looking organ I've ever seen. And this for some reason kind of reminds me of that, even though it's not nearly as good looking. But maybe it's the way I need my cursor for this, these go. Maybe it kind of reminds me of an organ, and the way the pipey looking wall parts are arranged. And that wasn't intentional. It was afterwards I'm like, oh, it looks like an organ. But anyways, so we'll do flybys of the building, get better look-see at it. Again, there's this wall here that's going to be the external wall of the city. Not really inspired. That one, I couldn't decide what style to go with for that, so that's almost like a placeholder. But it's better than the previous placeholder. The previous placeholder looked like something out of medieval kind of wall, which was not the look I was going for, so I got rid of it and started over. I do like this walkway on top, though. And I can't tell. I can't decide if it actually looks better or worse by night. If we come down here, those lights. No, I don't know. Fly on. They look kind of vaguely out of place almost. I don't know. Yeah, you can decide for yourself. But anyways, my image for this and why it's the Canal Gate Towers is I figured you enter the city like this on your. You probably wouldn't take a gondola and something this big that's going to be having a lot of heavy ship traffic. But on your boat. And again, there's going to be canal walls to either side back here. And that's how you enter the city. And that little piece of rock over there is eventually going to be a big lighthouse. But I can't. And again, those lighthouses, I want to build this original. I want it to be all mine. And then I just couldn't come up with the original design for it. So I'm like, I'll go back to that. And maybe I'll look at somebody else's concept art and not be original with the lighthouse. I don't know. What I might do is look at something that's not a lighthouse and just use the inspiration for aesthetics on the lighthouse. I don't know. But we'll come up this big central staircase here. This was really annoying to do because I didn't want to build this by hand because I knew I was going to end up screwing it up. So I decided, oh, I'll just build a full rotation of it and then use MC Edit and copy and paste it up. And that didn't go well. I don't want to talk about it, but I basically had to. I was halfway done with the interior of the towers. And I was like, nope. Had to rip out the interior and rebuild it outside of the building itself, and then make a copy of it as a schematic and then put it back inside the building. And then actually after that, I had to rebuild parts of the exterior that I damaged building the interior. It was frustrating, like hair pulling experience. But I do like this upper walkway, and I tried to do fancy things with it originally, and then I was like, keep it simple, stupid. So I just kind of made a big walkway, and I actually like it. This is something I could see going, like walking across if I was visiting Italy. Never been to Italy. I'd like to go somewhere. But I picture myself visiting Italy and walking across a bridge like this, albeit without walking up so many flights of stairs to do it. Which, once, exercise, right? It's not going to kill me. But whatever. So anyways, that's pretty much the build. Not much else to show here. Again, it's kind of plain. It's more of a attractive building than a functional one. But anyways, I hope you guys like this video. Probably more coming out about it, more Minecraft builds in the future, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.